Hi, I'm Carol Weston. Thank you for joining me at Girl Talk with Carol. Today we're going to talk about turning kids into culture vultures and taking them to art museums. It's never too early to take kids to art museums. There's some museums like the Frick, which will not let little kids in, or the Guggenheim. They won't let kids with strollers in because you know how it goes like this, and that could be a recipe for disaster. But just say you've got two 5-year-old twins or a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old. They're not too young, trust me. I took my kids to art museums, and next thing you know, they enjoyed it. So one tip I have is, why not start in the gift shop? I know that sounds odd, but if you tell your kids that they can each pick one postcard, and then you're going to do a reverse treasure hunt and find that objet d'art, that painting, that makes it really fun for them. Also, when you're in a room in a museum, I used to say, Emmy, Lizzie, darn it, I can only buy you one painting. Which one would you like? They knew I was kidding, but they would look around with sort of a critical eye instead of maybe feeling bored. And next thing you know, after 10 seconds, we would say which one we each liked. And we would talk about why, and there was no right or wrong answer. But they could say why they liked the Picasso or the Velázquez or the Rembrandt. You can pack sketchbooks and colored pencils. And then your kids, next thing you know, they're parking in front of a Vermeer and they're painting it, or in front of a Miro, or in front of a Renoir. And kids love being creative. So if you give them the opportunity to do that, they have a lot of fun. And they'll also be quiet for a moment or two, which is maybe just what you need in an art museum. When I took my kids to the Met, I live in New York City, sometimes I would say, okay, find baby Jesus, because baby Jesus before the Renaissance always looks like a little old man with a gold halo. And baby Jesus after the Renaissance would be a cute, chubby baby. And next thing you know, my kids sort of knew what was pre and post Renaissance, and they would enjoy that. I would also say, find an annunciation. Okay, they didn't get that at first, but basically that was when the angel Gabriel told the Virgin Mary that she was pregnant. So if you start looking in art museums with your kids for the angel coming in, sometimes Mary looks so happy and sometimes she's like, what? And it's very interesting to look at the paintings that way. Kids enjoy that. Little kids love finding animals in paintings. So sometimes we would go looking for kitty cats, or we would look for puppy dogs, or we would look for horses. I'm here to tell you there are not that many mice. We spent about an hour in the Met looking for mice. But it was a fun look. It turns it all into a treasure hunt again. And that's really fun for kids. And it gives them something to focus on. If you are in a museum with Audubon paintings and you see birds, herons, egrets in funny positions, and there's nobody else in the room, you can say, kids, positions everybody. And next thing you know, they get into the funny position that the bird's in. And again, it just keeps it fun for them. So there are a lot of ways to make a museum trip fun for kids. And if you don't make it seem like torture, they won't know that some people don't like museums. My alter ego is a middle school art teacher, and she's always running the kids around to art museums in Spain. She's talking to them about Picasso and Velázquez and Goya and Murillo, and meanwhile the kids are running around and they're playing a game of their own, and it's called Point Out the Naked People. And it's as though the art teacher mom doesn't know about it, but I was the writer, so I did know about it. I want art to be fun for kids, and I know it can be. Thank you for listening.